Hello, Charlie here. I just realised I'm wearing my rather relaxed t-shirt today. It says, underestimate me, that'll be fun. And actually I love this t-shirt because it gives me a kick up the backside sometimes. So I bought this t-shirt after I climbed Kilimanjaro in 2019. It was something that was on my bucket list. It was something that I've always wanted to do and I put off for a long time. So in a moment of bravery, in a moment of feeling strong, I put my name down, I paid the deposit, and therefore I was committed. I had to do it. And that's something that I do. I don't know about you, but if I'm feeling nervous about something, what I'll do is I will make a commitment by signing up, by emailing somebody, telling them that I want to do something or talking to somebody about something, because then it's there. I've laid the foundation, it's done. And before all those limiting beliefs and negative thoughts can kind of come in, I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. But I remember as well that afterwards, when I did it and I got to the top and it was all really amazing, I came back and some people were saying to me, oh yeah, I didn't think you were going to be able to do it. You know, I really didn't think you'd be able to do it. And I was one of those people, to be honest. I did think, God, am I bitten off more than I can chew? What if I can't make it? All of these things. But I did it. So I got this t-shirt to remind myself more than anybody else that I can do things. So don't underestimate me. And that's, like I say, I'm saying that to myself. We're talking about resilience today, or managing stress, depending on how you like to look at it. But we are living in a very stressful world right now. And I don't think it's going to get any better. And some people's stress is very different from other people. Some people have got a huge amount going on in their lives. Whether that's work related, stuff going on at home, things going on in their head, all sorts of stress is kind of building up. So this video is about looking at how we can try and manage it a little bit more so that you are able to find those moments to breathe and to recharge your battery, because I think that's one of the scary things that can happen when we're very stressed and we've got a lot going on, is we don't want to head out towards burnout. Where we're not able then to kind of give to anybody, let alone to ourselves. So let's look at some ideas about how we can build resilience, how we can manage stress. The first thing I would say is your to-do list, I don't think is ever going to go away. If one thing gets put to bed, there's going to be the next thing waiting to happen. So I think we have to make peace with the fact that we're in it. It's not going anywhere. Our lives are what they are. It's not going to get any less busy. It's not going to get any less stressful. There isn't going to be an end to the challenges that we have to face. So I think accepting that is really important. And then once we have that acceptance, then we can kind of move on and maybe try and manage it a little bit more. Again, don't control. It's a big thing that I say a lot with the work that I do. Never try to control, but if you can manage things and be flexible, then you're kind of on the right path. So my first tip is be kind to yourself. How often in life, maybe something goes wrong, maybe you're tired, you're stressed, things are building up a little bit, and we're actually really mean to ourselves. We kind of say, oh, you're pathetic, you can't do it, no wonder that's failed, you know, you don't know what you're talking about. We are so unkind to ourselves. But if a friend of yours came and said that they were feeling a bit stressed or that they were lacking a little bit in confidence or something like that, just think about all of the things that you would say to them to kind of buoy them up, you know, and make them feel better and, you know, try and build their confidence. Why do we say it to somebody that we love, you know, a friend, a family member, a loved one, but we don't say it to ourselves? You have a choice. You can go, right, let's be negative, let's be hard on ourselves. And yet sometimes that's easier to be able to do that. Or you can go, you know what? I'm going to say to myself, it's okay. These things happen. What can we learn from it? But genuinely talk to yourself, you know, and that doesn't have to be you're walking around the street sort of talking to yourself and, you know, worrying that people are thinking you're crazy. But it could be that you know, just in your head have these conversations, or when you're at home in the privacy of your own home is to have that conversation, to say, you know, you're all right, you can do this. Don't underestimate yourself. So take that time, stop those negative thoughts in their tracks, because like I said, you have a choice. Yeah, if something has gone wrong, if something hasn't gone to plan, it's not a failure, it's a learning experience. So just, like I say, just take that moment to reflect on it and maybe think about what you could do differently next time. But be kind to yourself. The next tip, and there's probably going to be some eye rolls when I say this, try and find time to relax. But first of all, you've got to ask yourself, what do you like to do to relax? So for me, relaxing is going for a nice walk, it's watching a movie, reading a book about something that I'm really interested in. That helps me relax. But it might be that you enjoy some mindfulness, you enjoy just sitting in a dark room for 10 minutes. And that's the other thing, is just think about the time. Don't think about you have to find an hour, an extra hour here, an extra hour there. But can you find 5-10 minutes where you are consciously aware of maybe doing some deep breathing or, thinking about, are you walking around and sitting at your desk with your shoulders up, really tense? Could you just take a moment to be very present with yourself, take some deep breaths and do what you need to do to relax, and maybe really think about, actually, it's important to schedule that time in your diary, whether that is waking up a little bit earlier to do that mindfulness or, really trying to block out 10-15 minutes if you can't have an hour lunch break to just go out of the office, go for a walk, but just something where you are taking some time to relax. The next one is develop your hobbies and develop your interests, because it will help to make you a little bit more of a rounded person, and it will help to boost your battery when it's running low, when we're able to actually do something that creates happiness, maybe releases the endorphins, sends out the dopamine, all of those really happy emotions and hormones and things like that, that can then give us that little bit of boost, that little bit of energy. So whether that is cooking, whether that's films, reading, exercise, whatever it might be, but just think, what would I like to get into? And is there a way that I could develop that a little bit more? So I have something else kind of going on in my life that gives me a distraction from work or what's causing you a lot of stress in your life. Maybe it gives you other things to talk about, but just for you personally, maybe it just gives you, like I say, that boost, that extra bit of energy to be able to get through those really stressful times. The next one is, and this is a really important one, and it's looking after your physical health. When we are busy, when we are stressed, sometimes those are the first things to go. We don't end up sleeping as well as we do. We don't drink as much water. We don't exercise, but they're really important. They're really important. So please spend some time thinking about how you could improve that. Now, my family, I'm the only one who seems to like water. I really like it. Like, I could drink water on its own till the cows come home. But they hate it. So they don't drink water. And I get so cross, especially with my mum. She's a nurse, for not drinking enough water. But she doesn't like the taste of it. So what we've established now is to get one of those little squeezy bottles of juice, concentrated juice, just a little squeeze. And then she's now drinking much more water. So if you are one of those people that doesn't really like water, doesn't like the taste of it, then maybe try and find a way around it. Don't replace water with tea and coffee or Coke or things like that, but really try and drink water. I'm very passionate about water. And then think about your sleep as well. It's really important to get good sleep. And within that, maybe turn your phone off or put your phone away half an hour before you're trying to go to sleep. So you're getting good sleep and you're not wired as you kind of put out the light, because of course it's going to take a lot longer to de-stress, calm down and slip into a good night's sleep. The next tip as well kind of leads on from that, but is to kind of maybe spend some time in nature. You can't beat it, apart from when you have to contend with the cowpats. So sometimes you have to have your wits about you. But being out in nature, just listening to the birds and, I don't know, being in the greenery, it's just very calming, and it can be a great time for you to just have your own thoughts and be with your own thoughts. You can put things into perspective, fill your lungs with fresh air, even if you live in a big city, just pretend, and gain that perspective on things. Maybe it'll have you thinking about solutions that you wouldn't have thought about if you kind of sit in that stress. So yeah, try and get yourself out, discover new walks. There's plenty of tips and ideas on the internet of local walks to where you are. But also the other thing that's great about getting out in nature and walking is, say you have to have a conversation with somebody, it's really great to be able to do it while you're walking. And I think it's because you're not looking at the person, you've got your head down, you're focusing on your thoughts, so it's a lot easier to express yourself as well. So give it a go, get out in nature. Even if it's freezing cold, we're very lucky at the moment, the sun is shining, hurrah. But even if it's cold, wrap up warm and enjoy all the sensations. So I hope you like this video. If you do, please do like it and subscribe, because I would really like to be able to bring you more videos on how we can be our best self. Until next time.